I never was pregnant in my life. So to Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my pregnancy and my miscarriage. So we had our transfer back in May 10th, 2018. And one of the first symptoms I started feeling was that the day of my transfer in the night when we went home. So we went to a dinner, a family dinner. I didn't do anything. I just sat down and just took it really easy, and I didn't do anything. But I did feel a sharp pain on my left side of my, I don't know if it was my ovary or my uterus. So that was weird. But that's the only thing I felt that day of the transfer. Um, After that, I don't remember feeling anything until probably the third day past my transfer. I started feeling like dull cramps, which felt like really light period cramps. Um, and I just started freaking out. I was like, what is going on? Why am I feeling cramps? And since it is a little, you feel that pain, you get scared because it's about, hopefully you reach the point where you get pregnant. And I never thought you would be able to feel cramps, and that, to me, that was alerting. So I decided to take a pregnancy test, and it came back negative. And all I remember was that I was at home with my husband. He didn't work that day, so we were watching movies, and I took the pregnancy test, and I told him, I was like, hey, it came back negative. I think I'm getting my period. I'm having these cramps. Um, and I just lost it, basically. I just started crying. I was like, it didn't work. It's a waste of money, a waste of energy, a waste of everything. It's so, for the people that have been going through IVF or are in the process of it, it's a complete roller coaster. Like, you are excited, you're happy, you're scared. It's a bunch of things that you feel at once, and it's just crazy. So at that moment, I just got really upset and scared. I was like, no, it didn't work. Um, I'm getting my period. And when my husband was so sweet to me, he calmed me down. He told me, listen, it's still early. Um, there might be, I don't know, a reason why you're feeling cramps. Just wait. We'll see what happens, and just don't lose your faith. So he calmed me down, and it worked. And I just calmed down. We just watched movies for the rest of the night. Um, Later on, I went to the bathroom, and when I wiped, I noticed um, like a light pink spotting. Um, so I freaked out even more, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. If it's my period, so be it. There's nothing I can do. Um, so I just let it go and continued with my day. And then the next morning, I was really upset, because I kept feeling the pain, the cramping. So I just let it go, and I just hoped for the best. I did not test anymore. I did not want to go through that emotional episode that I had the night before, or the night before. So I didn't test anymore. I didn't check anything, and I just relaxed. And yeah, so my 2 week wait, which is basically like 10 days, when you're doing IVF. So that morning, me and my husband went to the clinic, and we got my blood test done. And the nurse told me that they were going to call me before 2 p.m. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, they won't call me until later today, since it was early in the morning. Like, it was like 8:30 that we went to go take my blood. So I was like, nah, okay, well, they're not going to call me now. So I completely forgot about it, since we were busy. So we went home to my mom's house. We went to my mom's house, and we my husband left me there, and my car was there. So he left me at my mom's, and he went to go work with my dad. And me and my mom started cooking so we can take some lunch for them to have. And in the process of cooking, my mom needed some. What did she? I don't even know what she needed. But point being, I had to go to my house. So We used to live in the same community. So it was literally a minute away. So I drove and went to the house and got what we needed. And in the process of me getting in the kitchen, I received a phone call. And yeah, so I answered. I freaked out a little. So I answered and I was like, hello. And then she was like, so my doctor was not in town. So I had to get a different doctor to do my transfer. So I thought it was going to be a nurse, but it was the doctor who did my transfer. And I spoke to her, and she just told me, congratulations, you're pregnant. Everything looks good. Your numbers are there where we want them to be. And I think they were like 64. Because I did ask. I was like, can I know the number? So my HCG level was at 64. So yeah, and I cried. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, so why am I feeling cramps? And she told me that it was normal. It could be that my baby was implanting, so I felt the cramps. And now that I'm pregnant, my uterus starts to contract as it starts growing. So that makes sense to me at that point. And I was like, okay, and we just I followed her instructions, and we did another appointment for my second beta test. But yeah, so at that moment, I found out I was pregnant. I was just like in shock. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I remember just stopping what I was doing, and I'm Catholic, so I had my Virgin Mary in the living room, and I just went to her and I kneeled down and I thanked her. Like, now that I'm just going back through it, I just get so. Ugh. I thanked her. I never was pregnant in my life, so to. Oh gosh. So before I thanked her, actually no, in the process of me thanking her, I remember I had a pregnancy test in the bathroom. So I went to my bathroom, I took the pregnancy test, and automatically it just showed up. Like, it didn't delay. I didn't have to wait 2 minutes. So I saw a pregnancy test and I was just so happy. Um, Me and my husband bought a little stuffed animal, and I'll insert a picture of the stuffed animal. Um, so I grabbed the little teddy bear. I went and the pregnancy test, and I went to my mom's. I was already crying. My eyes were puffy, my face is red. She saw me. She's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "It worked." She hugged me. She said, "I knew it. I knew all along you were pregnant. You could tell in your face." Um, and it was just amazing. um, so yeah, after that, we finished cooking, and I didn't plan anything, and I didn't know how to actually tell my husband I'm pregnant. So what I did was take that little stuffed animal, and the pregnancy test, and I just threw it in a Walmart bag. And I was like, I'll just tell him it's his lunch, and then once he sees it, he'll be surprised. So that's what I did. Um, so we went to the job site, and my husband was like, "Did they call you?" And I told him no, and I was just like, just go inside. Let's come have some lunch." And I brought the bag with me, and as we were inside the house that they were working at, um, I told him, "Here, open it." And he's like, "Okay." He didn't think of nothing of it because it was a Walmart bag, so I think he probably thought it was like some snacks or something. But yeah, he opened it, he saw it, and he just like, "Did they call you?" I was like, "Yeah, they called me, and I'm pregnant." And he saw the pregnancy test. I showed him the pregnancy test, and he just started crying. We hugged each other, and it was just a very special moment for us. Um, After that, my mom and my dad came in, and that's when I told my dad. My dad was really happy. They congratulated us, and then we just had some lunch. Um, yeah, after that, I called my sister, my older sister, and I told her through FaceTime. She was happy as well. And then I didn't want to tell my baby sister because she's been really excited. So I kind of wanted to give her a surprise. So we waited until she got home from school. We all met at my mom's house. We had some dinner. And then she's like, "Did they call you?" I was like, "No, it's weird. They haven't called me. It's really late." And she just like, "Oh, okay." Like she didn't think of anything of it. And then once she sat down, I came out with the little stuffed animal in the pregnancy test, and she saw it, and she started screaming. She's like, "Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?" I was like, "Yes, I'm pregnant." And she got so excited, and we just started crying, and it was just special. Um, but yeah, after that, I started feeling morning sickness. Um, Maybe like a week after I found out I was pregnant. Um, and it wasn't like horrible. Like I just like if I ate something, I would like gag or like just feel really nauseous. Um, but other than that, that's the only symptoms I felt: the cramping, the nauseous. Right after we found like a week after I found out I was pregnant. But everything was fine. So I continued doing everything normal. Uh, then on May 29th, 2018, I was about 6 weeks pregnant on my dad's birthday. We went to the store. We were looking for a gift uh, for my dad, and I just started feeling like more cramping. It was stronger than before, and it just came and went. Um, and I was like, "This is not normal. I think we need to go home." So we went home. I laid down for a few hours and just hoping it just would stop. Um, and then I went to the bathroom and wipe, and I started bleeding. Um, like it was like not really bleeding, but it was more like spotting, like bright pink spotting. And I emailed my nurse and I told her, "Hey, I'm spotting. Is this normal? I'm having cramps um, that come and go. Should I be concerned?" And she just emailed me back. She's like, "It's sometimes it's normal. It could be that your uterus is contracting, and sometimes it's just normal to bleed uh, during the first trimester." And I was like, "Okay." So I just didn't think it. Just was like, "Okay, well, I'll just wait and see what happens." She told me to watch it if anything changed to let her know. So the afternoon came, and then I started feeling more cramps and harder cramps, and then I finally started bleeding. Um, when I when I saw that I was bleeding, we went to the emergency room, and as we got to the emergency room, I checked in and everything. Um, I went to the bathroom and I wiped, and um, in that moment, I thought to myself, I passed my baby. So what I had passed was like a clog of blood, and in it there was a like a little bubble. I guess you can explain it. It was a clear bubble, um, with liquid inside of it. It was bumpy in the outside, and it had attached a little red string. Um, so now I know it was the placenta, the umbilical cord, and the gestational sac. Um, and I kept it. I left it in a tissue, and I kept it to show the nurses. Um, so we went back to my room, and they took my blood. Um, they gave me some painkillers and just got me stable. The results came back, and they diagnosed me with a threatened miscarriage. To them, I had not miscarried since my HCG levels were still high. So we went back home, and I continued to have the cramps, continue to bleed. So I just knew we were miscarrying. Um, there was nothing I could do. I called my doctor in my the fertility clinic, and they just scheduled me an appointment to come see my doctor the next day to have the ultrasound. So we did. We went in the next morning. I showed my doctor what I had passed, and she said it could be mucus or it could be my baby. So at first she says, let's just wait and see and check the ultrasound and see what we see. We should be able to see the sac. So she did my ultrasound, vaginal ultrasound, and she saw nothing. So she said that the most likely thing was that it was my baby that I had passed, and that to stop my medications, um, they did my levels. My levels were dropping, and to come back within a week because they want to see my levels drop before we can do anything else. So, but yeah, that's my pregnancy symptoms and my miscarriage. Um, there's nothing much I can say, but it was just a miracle for me to be able to get pregnant. I know I can get pregnant, but I don't know. It's just really hard. I can't. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for being here. I thank you guys for coming and see my videos. I know they might be a little weird because I'm new at this whole YouTube thing. So yeah. But thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.